pit bulls. Been getting a lot of question about the zero DTE room, so I wanted to do a quick overview and also maybe help anybody who is already in it. So these are what the alerts look like every morning at around 9:50 and every afternoon around 1:05-ish. You'll get a trade idea. Now, I would not recommend this service for anyone who is just starting trading or who's never traded before, because there is some active management that makes sense here. So notice for the QQQ calls on July 21st, you have a score basically that's checked on certain criteria, whether or not it's a perfect setup or not. 100 would be perfect, 0 would be non-existent. I don't personally use that score very much, but I have a pretty good feel for markets, so others may need it more. That being said, we'll give you an invalidation price. Watch that invalidation price, as if it's bouncing right at that price, sometimes it can actually be a good second entry. It can also be a good stop loss. It can also be a good first entry. So me personally, not a huge fan of the early morning trades. Other people have been having great success with them, so I'm not going to discount them any, but I do much better in the afternoons. Early mornings are usually a lot more expensive, so I definitely recommend, if you're newer or if you have a small account, to look at the afternoon trades. So notice this one's 88 cents compared to $1.95. And then I don't take all trades, so I will announce my exit here as you see if I'm in the trade, but if I'm not, see out on this one, out on this one. If I'm not in it, I'm not going to announce it. And then at the end of the day, it'll give you the results of each trade, the highest point it hit, the lowest point it hit, and where it closed at the very end of the day for that trade, if you would have held it to the close. Most people are not going to hold it to the close, but that's going to be your own prerogative. So it's a little bit more of a self-driven experience in the zero DTE, whereas like a pit power plays or turtle pit is going to give you the exact entry, exact everything. This will give you an idea of the entry, an idea of the invalidation, an idea of the confidence level and what's expected out of the move, and then it'll give you the results at the end. Everything in between you kind of have to manage. Now I'm happy to give you how I manage and what seems to be great results here, which would be, if you go around 50% profits, we have a 90% win rate at every play, hitting at least 50% profits. So the way I like to do it is 3 targets, 50, 75, and 150. And then as it moves to the next target, you move your stop loss as well. So for example, on this play here, 696 put on QQQ, if it was up 50%, 60%, I'm going to take profits there on one contract. Let's just say a 3 contract position. Take profits on one at 50%, 60%, move my stop loss on the other 2 to 50%. Then if it keeps going, I'm taking profits on 2, the second tier, at 75%. And then as it keeps going past that, I'm going to move my stop loss on the runner to 75%. And then if it keeps going to 150%, I'll take profits there. So if you're going with 3 contracts, that's a great way to do it. If you're working with a small account, doing 1 contract, 50% is a great way to do it as well. All right, but we give you the setup type, the ticker, whether it's a call or put, the strike we're buying, the expiration, usually 0 DT, same day. The entry price that when the alert comes out. Now, you don't have to take it when the alert comes out. If you know what you're doing and you're confident in looking at this and you see 1 p.m., okay, this came out as $1.83, and then you see it not go the right direction for a minute, and maybe you want to wait it out and see if it's going to go your direction, and you can get a better entry that way. You might get a cheaper price. This may just give you the right target or the right contract to watch But you see, by the end of the day, the highest and the close on both of these were nice hits. But pretty high win rate here. I'd say at the 50% target, it's around 90%. At the 75% target, it's around 70% win rate so far since we began tracking these religiously, which was only a month or two ago. And then that 150% win rate is like a 25-30% win rate to hit that or to go that high. So with keeping that in mind, if you follow what I said in trailing your stop loss to the last target every time, should be pretty successful. So let me know if this helps. Feel free to drop any questions in the trader chat if you got them. We're here to help. This one today got cooked, and it still has a chance. But see how expensive it was? $555 on the entry. Pretty high score because it looked very bearish. Honestly, still kind of does. This could end up in profit. You never know. But with big movers, a lot of implied volatility on a Friday morning, this is one I'm just going to avoid because it's expensive and it's Friday morning. I'm not a huge Friday trader to begin with. OPEX, I only like to trade the close just for fun, scalps here and there. But yeah, feel free to drop any questions if you got them. Like I said, the invalidation level can also often be a great entry if it gets to that invalidation and doesn't cross over and it's kind of pittering around there. You can get a really steal cheap entry there. So I might take the PM trade. We'll see what comes out. Drop questions. Let me know what you got. And I'm going to do a call for 0 DTE for everybody to go over everything I got on 0 DTE very soon.